What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Welcome back to another edition of the Monday Market Report. This is where we take a look at the most relevant modern post-1900 graded coins to have sold in the last week. We have the week ending January 23rd, 2022, and we're going to be highlighting some pretty nice great collections listings to have essentially ended here as of probably within the last 10 minutes. But we have a really nice host of coins coming off what I hear was a really nice Florida United Numismatics show. Of course, that was in Orlando, Florida. That was the big show to kind of kick off the new year. And come to find out that there was a lot of really nice pieces that did sell on Great Collections. Great Collections, I believe, was in attendance at the fun show. And I believe they will be on the next show in February, and that's going to be the Long Beach event. But anyways, we got a really nice, great crop of coins here. A lot of your favorite PCGS or NGC graded coins, a lot of great type pieces, a lot of rarities. In addition to a lot of high-profile, what we call registry set coins. These are coins that go into a very specific kind of niche collection of high-end type pieces. Top population coins, the finest of their respective dates. People go out of their ways, they crack open the wallets, bust out the checkbook, and they are paying a lot of money for some of these coins. And of course, when we're talking about some of the most elite level of US coins, you're going to find that people are willing to make the extra effort of trying to get that coin. Because at the end of the day, they want the biggest and the most tallied up points type of registry set that you could possibly ever figure. At the end of the day, it is all just bragging rights, but make no mistake about it. Do not underestimate the power of the registry set. It's incredible, and we continue to see just monumental, groundbreaking coins that we haven't seen in quite some time. We have a number of dimes to have sold this week, and I can honestly say I haven't talked a lot about any of these dimes since I've done the Monday Market Report show. Was that coming up on 3-4 years now? So yeah, a lot of high-profile Roosevelt Dimes, out of all things, have really set the market on fire this week. All right, guys, without further keeping you guys waiting, because this is an incredible show. We have 19 coins to talk about. Let's go ahead and jump right in to the first set of coins. And again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you enjoy today's content. Appreciate your guys' time. All right, we're going to kick it off with one of my favorite varieties. This thing is a boom. 1983 Lincoln Memorial Cent. This is, of course, the double to die reverse. I mean, just take a look at it. Your eyes will go cross-eyed. You stare at it for too long. But check out 1 cent on the reverse. That seems to be the strongest amount of doubling on the coin, but you'll see it all over the place. This is a high graded beauty. It's PCGS graded Mint State 67 red. It's also CAC certified, so it's got the extra backing to ensure that this particular numerical grade by PCGS is spot on. What else can you say? This is one of those varieties that is constantly being pursued on the secondary market. Prices have certainly elevated within the last 12 to 18 months. We've seen anywhere from 20 to 25% price increases of this coin, among a few others. And that is incredible. Just probably goes to show you that this coin was maybe underpriced for such a long time, and then now folks are beginning to kind of wake up and realize that this coin right here, especially in high grades, is going to be the one to get. Now this one right here ended up selling for $1,462.50. What a great way to kick off the MMR with this 83 DDR. The next one that we have here is another erstwhile variety. I think a lot of folks don't really know about this one unless you had a cherry picker's guide, or you're like me, you're an internet rat and just like to check out some of those attribution sites. But this is, oh my God, 1971S. This is one of those coins I've longed to find, by the way, and cherry pick for myself. It is a proof Lincoln. This one grades out PCGS proof 66 red. It does indeed have a cameo designation. So we'll just point out that there is some frost on the coin, not strong frost, but it's on there on those devices. And then you see the attribution DDO FS101. A lot of your doubling on this coin is going to be on the date and Liberty. Okay, those are going to be some of your strongest areas of note for the doubling of this coin. And yeah, you'll need a magnifier to look at this. So if you're at a show or a shop and you want to cherry pick one of these for yourself, make sure you have a magnifier handy. You'll be able to see it a little bit better with that. So this coin, again, another rarity. You don't see these that often. This one ended up selling for $1,350. Not too bad. Again, you could probably find an example with a lot stronger cameo frost on there. They'll sell for a little bit more money. The next one that we have here is a coin that I have owned before. I still do have my example that I purchased about 13 years ago. But this is a 1943 D over D RPM. This is the big one for this particular date. It's all over Cherry Picker's Guide. It's even in the Red Book. It's a very neat repunch mint mark. Okay, so your secondary D is going to be southwest of the primary D. Really easy to spot. It is also FS501 in the Cherry Picker's Guide. And of course, it's on one of the marquee one-off style of type coins out there. The steel cent, of course, is a fan favorite among not only seasoned veterans of numismatics, but also new folks coming in to the hobby as well. This one right here grades out Mint State 67 Plus. Is a banger of a grade by PCGS. It's also CAC certified. This one, believe it or not, sold for a few bucks. How about $14,062.50? This is a variety. If you're able to find one example and cherry pick it out of like dealer stock, and maybe they fell asleep, with this coin in their inventory, you can make a serious home run hit with something like this. I've seen coins grade as low as like Mint State 64 still sell close to $1,000. Something to keep in mind. This is a hot coin right now. Now, obviously, this is a 1942 that has registry set written all over it. It's a very, very high minted coin. The Philadelphia 1940s coins, they all were pretty readily available. You could literally walk out into the street and to your local coin shop and find an example of this in mint state condition for around $1. Okay, they're that plentiful, but finding one that is registry set worthy, quote unquote, is where a lot of the challenge lies with this. This one right here is a top pop graded Mint State 67 Plus full red. It's also CAC certified. No, I take that back. I believe this is the second lowest grade. I think 68 is the highest grade for a 42. So if a 68 is not available, this would be the one to get. This one right here, surprisingly hammered for $1,575. Such a great looking coin. And again, for a registry set that is missing something like this, this would be a good pickup without having to spend $5,000 to $10,000. And the final Lincoln out of the group, or 1 cent denom coin for this edition of the MMR, how about a 39 with a little bit of toning on there? Again, a beautiful coin, very stunning, but the big news here is that grade. This is a top flight Mint State 68 full red example. Again, folks, don't invest in stuff like this. These are made for one specific type of collecting, and that's registry sets all the way. Aside from that, you would try and avoid these if possible, if not trying to find and cherry pick coins for yourself that you could take advantage of the registry set market. Again, it's one of the hottest things going right now. The momentum has not shifted or swayed one bit, so we could expect to see strong prices. This example right here ended up selling for $8,156.25. Again, a very populous date. All right, we're on to nickels, and then we have a special mint set coin here, a 1965 Jefferson nickel. It's a mid-state 66 cameo, so it does qualify a little bit because of extra frosting on the devices. As you guys know, special mint sets were kind of like that happy medium to help satisfy collectors, because once they found out that after 1964, they were trying to do away with proof sets, and that wasn't met very well in the community. So they decided to change courses and say, okay, well, as a last minute prep job, let's go ahead and do these SMS coins, which is pretty much a hybrid between regular standard proof coins and business strike coins. So normally you won't see coins that exhibit the kind of proof-like surfaces like this one does. A lot of them seem to have kind of like the satiny surfaces, and those are the most plentiful. This one right here, again, an aberration. You just don't see cameo frosting along with those mirrored fields. I mean, this one is quite attractive. This one ended up selling for $1,306.12. It's also worth noting that this was part of the Key West collection of nickels. The next one that we have here, you guys are going to love. You know why? Because it's not full steps. However, this one has a character all its own. It's got a little bit of toning. It's not going to, just kind of like flash you in the face and, just you feel repulsed because the toning is not quite what you like. This is light toning, probably album style toning over the course of a few years. But hey, there you go. NGC Mint State 68 Plus. What more can you ask for? It is quite a tough date to find with full steps, so that is part of the challenge with this particular date. And you could probably say the same with most of the San Francisco minted coins of the Wartime silver era, which is a very short era, 42 to 45. But this one right here, again, will still catch some points in a registry set for its obscenely high grade. This one hammered in at $2,081.25. Again, proving that you don't need the strike designation to really hit a home run. This is a really good example of that. We do have a few Buffalo Nickels. Actually, the Buffalo Nickels outscored the Jefferson Nickels this week. How about a good old standard garden variety 1936? This is one of the most highly minted Buffalo Nickels of the series. Okay, you could also make the argument that it's right up there with the 37 and all that great stuff. But 1936, if you're looking to cherry pick what I call a god coin that's really impactful and all that, 36 and 37 are definitely it. These are, I would say, probably a few of a very short list of Buffalo Nickels that you could find in raw condition and high mint state grades for a reasonable amount of money. Oftentimes they'll spend less than $50 for an example, but if you're able to find a really nice clean coin with very little nicks and other sorts of distracting carbon spots and all that stuff, you could really set yourself up for a nice payday. This is a Mint State 67 Plus example through NGC. It's CAC certified, and I'm happy to say that this one ultimately sold for $1,662.75. By the way, this is not a top pop grade. This is a coin that in a 67 Plus can be achievable. Now, what's not quite achievable are some of the rarities of the 1920s, and if you're able to come across like a Denver or San Francisco mid-century or mid-decade coin like this one here, 25D again, is not going to blow you away on its luster and all that stuff. These roaring 20 pre-depression type coins left a lot to be desired in the quality department, so a lot of them are not going to impress you as far as luster and all that. However, you find a really nice clean example, and yes, the reverse is a little bit rotated on this. That is true legit die rotation. This one's rotated counterclockwise about 45 degrees. But yeah, I mean, mid-state 65 plus, how bad can it be? Well, it's quite scarce for this particular date. This one sold for $3,993.75. A very tough date. But also this one as well, a 1924S, and it is even a lesser grade compared to the 25D that we saw before it. But again, this is a key right here to go along with the 26S and all the other crazy whack job type of dates of the mid-20s of Buffaloes. This one right here, quite attractive for what you're getting. It's an NGC Mid-State 64. And this one sold for $8,718.75. By the way, these type of coins are collected by everyone, from investors to type collectors to just regular garden variety coin collectors, and also registry set folks as well will want this. And that's mostly why there's such a high appeal for these, is because it caters to a very wide audience. And then the final Buffalo nickel or nickel for the week is going to be this 1919D. Now, fascinating, exciting story here. This is a coin that was consigned to Great Collections by someone on our live coin Q&A panel, and that's Adam Chambers, the king of cherry picks. So he found this coin, sent it off to be graded, and consequently ended up sending it to Ian at Great Collections for consignment. It's such a great looking coin. I think I like the reverse with the wood graining on there. But look, it's just a Mid-State 63, but this is a very tough date. 1919 and 21s of every denomination you can figure is going to offer some challenges. You might even pull your hair out trying to locate some of these raw. And this one right here is just a beauty. It's a beauty for what it is. A 63 sometimes can be seen as a very pedestrian grade, but picking your battles and choosing the right dates to have this kind of grade, that's where it all is. Surprisingly, for the grade, this one actually sold for $1,333.12. Congrats, Adam. Beautiful sale. Well done. All right, so we're getting into some really, really spicy coins here, and I usually don't really reserve that to Roosevelt Dimes. Some people will say, well, geez, it's Roosevelt Dimes, who cares, right? But we have a number of extremely rare high-grade coins, starting out with the King of Kings, and that's the 75 right here. Who would have thought? 1975 is a coin of poor strikes, and finding one with full bands on the reverse. Now that is that's a lottery kind of odds cherry pick right there. This one just so happens to be a Mid-State 67 FB, so it's got full bands designation. Long been lost out in the marketplace, and Roosevelt registry set owners are just chomping at the bit to try and find one of these, and then finally one did come up onto Great Collections. This one right here ended up selling for $2,081.25. I mean, really? I mean, that's nuts. To give you an idea of rarity, this is a top pop grade. Only 4 are graded in a Mid-State 67 FB. And there's only a handful of them with full bands. I think there was maybe 7 of them. It's that crazy. It's that rare of a coin with full bands. This one, pretty tough. It's not a 75, but we'll throw it up here. It's a 72. This one is a PCGS Mid-State 66 full bands. And as you can see, it's part of the L.S. Brown collection as well. Great Collections has sold a number of L.S. Brown Roosevelts here in the last few weeks, and this is another one to add to the mix. It's a really good looking coin. Lots of luster, which is something you don't really see or encounter that often in the 1970s Roosevelt Dimes. This one right here ended up selling for $1,040.62. And then the same can be said for the 71D. This one also is, no, this one is not an L.S. Brown. However, it is a grade point higher at a 67 full bands. Again, a little bit of popularity here. The power play is, Lincoln cents and nickels and quarters are getting quite expensive to kind of dip your toe in to the registry set if you wanted to do it. So people are kind of gravitating towards Roosevelt Dimes as a cheaper cost alternative. But I'm afraid to say that these are starting to go up as well. Much like the previous 1972, this one also sold for $1,040.62. Now, aside from the 75, this is the second toughest coin right here to find with full bands, and happens to be an L.S. Brown collection coin. Now, kind of like the the white hazy appearance is pretty standard for this coin and for this date. Some of them could be found in mid sets, and that's where a lot of them were found. But finding one with full bands, now that's a tough one. So even in a mint state 66, it's still quite desirable because there aren't that many that grades higher than that. As a matter of fact, this is a pop 6 in a 66 full bands, with only one coin graded in a 67 that's finer than this. So again, it just illustrates that this is a tough one as well. Always has been, always will. This one sold for $2,088. So it's on par with the 75. And again, we had two of the big King of Kings of Roosevelt Dime clad coins. I'm not going to say, like silver, but clad rosies that sold this week. This is kind of a treat, and it's probably something that you're unlikely going to see again in the future. And then the last dime for this particular episode, we have a 57 that's just oozing with all sorts of originality. People are 50-50 on toning. I love it because it just really compounds the originality over many years of oxidation. This one right here is quite attractive. It's not one that's going to offend you too greatly. But if you feel offended about any tone coins, guess what? Why don't you go ahead and sell it and then buy yourself some Blast Whites. This one right here is a 67 full bands. It's also another L.S. Brown collection piece, graded by PCGS. Just a beautiful coin. How about $3,520.12? I mean, that's not nothing. Whereas if you went and dipped the coin, it's probably worth $35. I'm just saying, hitting you up with a little bit of reality. Sometimes it's just better to not argue and just collect the money. All right, so we do have a few quarters, and I cannot believe that this one's on the list, but it stands with good reason that the Washington Quarter Registry Set Series is a funny bunch of people. They got some pretty deep pockets. This one, you'll look at it like, oh, yeah, that one sold for a few $100. Oh, guys, you couldn't be any more wrong. This is a PCGS Mid-State 68. It's a very satiny strike. It looks like a satin finish coin that was released in mid-sets during its day. However, this one looks to be just a business strike coin. American Samoa comes at a time when 2009 territory quarters were met with mixed reaction. People saw it as a supplement to the Statehood Quarter Series, but by the time that happened in 2008, people were just tired of the series, and that was before, the ATB National Park Series came to be. But yeah, this one's on the list. Very few of these rolls were ever saved or preserved in mid-state condition, so it stands with good reason that these are quite rare at a certain grade level. This one ended up selling for, believe it or not, $3,375. Just a real head shaker, but again, registry said Washington Quarter people are kind of an irrational bunch when it comes to obtaining the highest. All right, so, we can't end it on an American Samoa. You guys can agree with me on that, but we do have two coins that really tug on my heartstrings because I'm a really, really dedicated classic collector of these types. How about 1917 Type 1 Standing Liberty Quarter? It's got good old Liberty with the exposed boob and, lack of chainmail. I mean, this is an iconic coin, right? Great design, detail, and everything like that. It's one of the top 5 coin designs in U.S. coinage. This one right here, NGC Mid-State 67 Plus full head. This thing looked like it was minted yesterday. That's how fresh and just gorgeous this coin is. I've tried so hard to get like a mid-state 65 full heads. Those are beginning to get out of reach, but a 67 plus I can only imagine is no walk in the park. And sure enough, it wasn't. This one ended up selling for $11,410.88. So how are we going to kind of follow up the 17 Type 1 here? Well, how about this beauty right here? 1901S Barber Quarter. That looks like it's been around the block a few times. I'm not gonna lie. But even a coin in this ilk with such a low mintage and just a scarcity key altogether is quite delectable. Believe it or not, I'm saying that about a coin that graded VG8 by PCGS. I've seen very few examples that graded higher than this. I've seen a few like fine 12s and 15s, maybe the occasional VF. All the high-end stuff, and they're socked up in major collections. They're worth many tens of thousands of dollars. So this one right here is kind of like the consolation prize of the Barber Quarter series of keys, which are a few coins. So what did this one hammer at? How about $9,815.62? Are you freaking kidding me? That's a brand new car in some places. Probably not in the U.S., but in some places, you know. But yeah, I mean, that's nearly $10,000 coin right there. Something that is pretty well worn, and a lot of people have changed hands with this thing. Not knowing that they had a true rarity that they had spent on a few loaves of bread, you know, back over 100 years ago. Pretty cool coin. I mean, what else can you say? It's very scarce, and very little people did know that back in the early 1900s when this thing circulated during the Great Depression age. But that's going to go ahead and do it, folks. Would love to hear your thoughts. What's your favorite coin of the week? And, you know, if you're picking this show up on a Monday morning, you're heading out to work, I want you guys to take care. Be safe. Don't work so hard. I know that's kind of like a tough thing because everybody works hard these days. But that's it, guys. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Don't forget to do those 3 things on screen there. I will love you a lot, man. Would love all the extra support. And yeah, you guys have been fantastic, fan-freaking-tastic throughout, you know, the 12 years I've been doing this. Hopefully, we'll be able to do more for the foreseeable future. But you guys, stay cool, keep collecting. Coinaholics, as always, that's going to go ahead and do it. You guys take care, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.